Hey guys, today we're going to cover pickleball paddles from smaller companies. Now, I've received quite a few of these, but none of them have been interesting enough to warrant a full review, which is why I've decided to start this video series. Let's start with the M1 Legion from Aethos, which is a company based out of Canada. It's an elongated thermoform paddle with a 5.3-inch handle, so it's similar in dimensions to paddles like the Body Helix X1, Vatic Pro V7, and the Legacy Pro. The one I have has a swing weight of 121 and a twist weight of 6.75. Swing weight is about average for an elongated paddle, and the twist weight is the highest I've tested for an elongated Gen 2. As for how it plays, it's very similar to the Legacy Pro paddle in terms of pop and power, so it's about average for both. Overall, it's a solid elongated thermoform paddle that's priced pretty low at $130, which drops down even lower with a discount code. While nothing really stands out about the paddle, it's priced well and performs just as good as the other elongated paddles. One last thing is that Aethos is based out of Canada and offers free shipping to both Canada and the US, which is something not all paddle brands do. So if you are located in Canada, this could be a thermoform paddle to consider. Next, let's look at the Warping Point paddle on Amazon. These are 16mm edgeless 3K carbon fiber paddles with throat holes that come in both the elongated and standard shapes. I tested out the elongated version, which has a swing weight of 114 and a twist weight of 5.45. The swing weight is quick for an elongated 16mm because of its edgeless design and throat hole, but the twist weight is on the lower end, making the paddle very unforgiving with off-center shots and a small sweet spot. In fact, the sweet spot was very low on this paddle, where it was equivalent to ones like the older edgeless gearbox paddles. Power and pop were both very low on the paddle as well. I tried to add lead tape to give the paddle a bit more power and to increase the twist weight, but honestly, it didn't make the paddle play any better than existing paddles on the market. A Gen 1 with an edge guard still performed much better. One last thing was the spin, which is very low on this paddle. Although the surface is very rough to the touch, it didn't really grip the ball when applying spin, and the spin numbers were very low. Overall, this is not a paddle I would recommend. For a similar price, if you do want an edgeless paddle, I'd recommend the Spartus Ballista instead, and would skip the Warping Point ones. Next up is the A11N C7 Carry paddles. These are just Gen 1 cold press paddles that come in at a low price of $79.99. They play just as well as other Gen 1 paddles like the Rhombus R3.16, Carbon 1, or Selkirk Vanguard Control, so they lean towards a soft game. The swing weight of the 16mm is 122 with a twist weight of 5.9, while the 14mm is 118 and 5.81. Nothing special or bad about these paddles, they're just generic Gen 1 paddles that are priced pretty affordably, though there are already a few paddles from other brands at this price point. Next, let's look at the Nite Owl Pro from Kamikaze. This is an elongated carbon fiber 14mm thermoform paddle, so very similar to something like the Carbon 1X 14mm, and honestly, plays very similar too. For the swing weight, I got 117, and twist weight, I got 6.0. For reference, the 1X 14mm I have has a swing weight of 117 as well, and a twist weight of 5.95. Again, there's nothing too special about these compared to other 14mm thermoforms on the market, but they do come in at a solid price point of $150, which drops down even lower after a discount code. Finally, let's take a look at the Rokne Republic 2.16. Mine came in with a swing weight of 120 and a twist weight of 6.40. Rokne has been in the game for quite a bit, having many beginner paddles and advanced ones at varying price points. The Republic is one of their higher priced paddles, but honestly, this one is pretty forgettable. It uses Mitsubishi carbon fiber in the surface, which is a higher grade like Toray, but it doesn't use a raw carbon fiber surface, so there is no resin texture left by a peel ply imprint on top. The paddle makes other claims like structured cell technology, posi-core construction, but honestly, just plays like a Gen 1 control paddle, but even worse because the surface doesn't have that peel ply resin and the spin numbers on this are low. Even though it is USA made, it really isn't worth it at $210, and you're better off getting the C7 Carry paddles that will perform even better at less than half the price. Anyways, that's all for part 1 of these reviews, but let me know in the comments down below what you think of this format for me covering these smaller companies.